Leading off for the Norsemen, number 2, second baseman Javier Brown.
Hi everybody and welcome to Tony Gwynn Stadium on the campus of San Diego State University. I'm Ken Gonzalez for George Langevin Productions. This is the first pitch of the game, the Division II championship game, 2004 San Diego section of CIF. Featuring the Valhalla Norsemen and the El Capitan Vaqueros Valhalla leading things off. Javier Brown, the second baseman. And he'll line a single into right field. And the Norseman trying to get something going here in the top of the first inning as he takes that pitch, goes the other way.
Now batting for the Norsemen, the right fielder number 3, Zach Barger.
That'll bring up Zach Barger, the right fielder. Zach, left-handed batter. He'll bounce one right back to the pitcher. Over to second for one, over to first. Dug out of the dirt in time. So a nice double play. 1-6-3 on the double play.
Now batting the pitcher, number 12, Sean Olsen.
And that'll bring it the pitcher, number 12, Sean O'Sullivan. Nobody on, 2 outs. As the Vaqueros turn the double play. Sullivan rips with foul down the right field line, 0-1. Ryan Pavkovitz on the mound, number 23, for the Vaqueros. Sullivan awaiting the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tip held by the catcher. And a count 0-2. Sean O'Sullivan. Behind the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. Foul at the plate. So he's still alive. Sean O'Sullivan on deck. We have the catcher, number 24, Chris Olson. Bouncing ball down the third base line and foul. And the count 0-2. Just the start of things here, the Division II championship game. About a 4:15 start here Saturday, the 6th of June, 2004. Pavkovitz looking in for the sign. He's ahead in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lined in the left field, just past the shortstop, number 5, Justin Snyder. So if it wasn't for the double play, the Norsemen would have had something going here, as they have
now batting the cleanup hitter,
2 base hits.
Number 24, Chris
the double play
Olsen.
wiped out that first one. And with 2 outs now, a runner at first, the catcher Chris Olsen steps in. Olsen gets on. You have the shortstop, number 5, Drew Garcia, waiting his turn on deck. Pavkovitz looking in for the sign, checks the runner over at first. Pitches low, ball 1, 1-0. So Sean O'Sullivan came into this game 7 for 9. So you can now raise that for 8 for 10 here in the playoffs. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike to Olsen. Two out, a man on first. Here's the pitch. swing and a foul back. O'Sullivan was running on the pitch, hit and run. And the count to Olsen is now 1-2. The wind blowing out. It's been blowing out most of the day. This is the third championship game of the day. We have one more to go after this one. By Papkins, popped up on the infield. Coming down the line is the third baseman. He's got it in foul territory. And Vern Wendler will make the catch. And that'll do it for the Norsemen in their top half of the first inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. No score.
No score.
So as we go to the bottom of the first inning, Sean Blake, the center fielder for El Capitan, steps in. He'll be facing Sean O'Sullivan. Sullivan climbs the mound. He's on the rubber. So Sean Blake waiting the first pitch. Here it is. A little high and inside for a ball, 1-0. And we're underway here in the bottom of the first. The Norseman went down. Double play. Kind of foiled their inning there in the top of the first. They had a couple of singles, but in between those singles, a double play grounder back to the mound. And the count right now is 1-1 on Blake. Pitches it high into the air to center field. Put away there. That's number 10 for the Norseman, Jeff Zapata.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the second baseman, number 6, Louis Russo.
One out here in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring up Louis Russo. Louis, the second baseman for the Vaqueros. And that first pitch by O'Sullivan will hit him right on the forearm. And so Louis Russo is on board. That'll bring up number 5, Justin Snyder, the shortstop.
The shortstop, number 5, Justin Snyder.
So we'll see if Snyder can move the runner along. Bottom of the first. Russo seems to be okay as he takes his lead from first. That pitch nailed him right on the left forearm. Sullivan's first pitch, off speed in there for a strike, and he starts Snyder off 0-1. Sullivan checks the runner at first. He'll go over. Russo gets back. Tommy McLean, number 13. He's the first baseman for the Norsemen. So he's holding the runner on. Pitch to Snyder is a little up. They count even at a ball and a strike. One pitch inside. Ball 2-1. And the shadows starting to creep across the field with the lights down the third base line. And that ball is ripped to dead center field, going back on his horse as a center fielder. It's going to bounce off the track into the wall, come right back into the field. A rounding third, heading to the plate and scoring the first run of the game is Louis Russo on a double by Justin Snyder. So Snyder gave that ball a ride, and the center fielder, Jeff Zapata, couldn't get there in time.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the cleanup hitter.
And El Capitan has taken a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. So Vern Wendler, third baseman today for the Vaqueros, steps in. Pitches low for a ball, 1-0. O'Sullivan checks Snyder at second, now to the plate. Pitch just a little bit low. And the count is 2-0. To Wengler. O'Sullivan checking in for the sign. Now he sets. Pitch, and that'll hit Wengler. So 2 hit batters here in the inning for O'Sullivan. And there's runners at first and second now with 1 out.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the designated hitter, number 21, Nick Garcia.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Nick Garcia, number 21. Head coach for Valhalla, Steve Perdue, having a few words with the home plate umpire, Bo Graham. He's not too happy with the hit batters, thinks that that ball's ripped to left center field, and that's going to fall and roll all the way to the wall. Snyder's going to score. Wengler will move to third on a double by Garcia. So O'Sullivan being ripped into the outfield here in the bottom of the first inning. Sean Blake led things off with a fly out to center field, hit the ball hard. Snyder doubled to the wall. Center field, and now left center double for Nick Garcia. Going back, head coach Steve Perdue of the Norsemen is actually complaining on those 2 hit batters that they didn't do enough to move out of the way of the pitches as they were awarded first base by the home plate umpire.
Behind the stadium. If you are lucky enough to retrieve a foul ball, please return it to any member of the staff. So we can reuse
coaching staff for Valhalla, of course, head coach Steve Perdue. Assistant coaches Troy Perdue, Ron Berner, Dave Garcia, and Nigel Smith. So for the Vaqueros, Josh Walston steps in. Walston, where's number 30? Playing the outfield today. He's in left field. He'll foul this one straight back.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, Josh Walston.
So the Vaqueros with an early 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. Walston still at the plate. O'Sullivan's pitch. That's into the air down the right field line. That'll move out of play into the stands. And that's 2 strikes now on Walston. Wengler at third, Garcia at second. After that double to left center. Pitch is high by O'Sullivan. Burned one there, and the count is even 2-2. O'Sullivan not paying much attention. Now he looks over to third. Now he's set. Time was called as Walston had stepped out of the box. Sullivan's pitch, that's fouled away again. 2-2. Ball put back into play. O'Sullivan on the rubber. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung and grounded over to the third baseman. It's off his glove. The shortstop recovers. Drew Garcia, but he can't make a play. A run will cross the plate. And Brennan Baum, the third baseman, couldn't come up with that ball. He did all he could to save it from going into the outfield. He probably saved a run, though, as the runner from second, Garcia, might have come around to score if that ball would have moved into the outfield. So Wengler comes in to score. Runners at first and second. Austin Rauch, number 18. Bounces one right back to the pitcher, over to third for one. The long way across the diamond. Not in time. And on the error by the first baseman, Tommy McLean, Nick Garcia or Josh Walston will move all the way to third.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the first baseman, number 32, Jake Taylor.
So Rauch taking his lead from first. That pitch fouled back. 0-1. Jake Taylor, the first baseman. Down in the count, 0-1. And on the steal, Rauch will take second base as O'Sullivan stepped off, but he had nowhere to go. If he would have thrown to second, it would have been in time. And he just held the ball to save Walston from racing to the plate on a double steal. Sullivan's pitch is hitting the center field. Coming on, it's going to drop. Coming all the way around to score from second base as well, in time. Is Rauch. So a single by Taylor drives in two.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the right fielder, number 17, Robbie Zabarak.
And Robbie Zabarak, number 17, the right fielder, now steps in. Fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. So 5 runs across here in the bottom of the first for El Capitan. Sullivan ahead in the count, 0-1. To Zaverick, tries to bunt, didn't pull back. That's strike 2. So 0-2 the count, 2 outs, a runner at first base. Sullivan set, here's the pitch, high. Attempting to steal Taylor, and he's gonna get in there right under the tag as the throw pulled the second baseman to the shortstop side of the bag, and as he recovered and came back to the bag and tried to place the tag, Taylor got his hand in there. So a stolen base for Jake Taylor. Okay. Count 1-2 now. Robbie Zaverick. On deck, Sean Blake, center fielder. 5 runs across here for the Vaqueros in the first. Taylor leads from second. Sullivan's pitch. That's grounded over to short. Backhand, not in time. Can't get his glove down. It rolls into left field. The runner from home, third, was waved home. Taylor will score. And over at first base, Zaverick. And it's 6-0.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the center fielder, number 2, Sean Blake.
So Sean Blake started this inning off with a fly ball to center field, made the first out. And his number 9 hitter Robbie Zabarick is at first. 6 runs in. Blake holds up on that bunt attempt, pulled it back. Count is 1-0. Sullivan's 1-0 pitch. And that's hit into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. So Blake is aboard. And there's 2 on now for Louis Russo.
Second baseman number 6, Louis Russo.
Russo was hit by the pitch here in this inning. And now he's up with runners at first and second. Well, Sullivan laboring out there. Nobody in the pen yet for the Norseman. And now some activity as number 19, Eric Julien, now begins to warm up in the bullpen. Surprisingly, the Vaqueros have put a 6th spot on the board here in the bottom of the first. And that ball is ripped down the right field line. Just past the first baseman, McClain. Coming around from second to score is Robbie Zabarick. Over to third base goes Sean Blake.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the shortstop, number 5, Justin Snyder.
And it's now 7-0 here in the bottom of the first. Justin Snyder takes high for a ball. 1-0. Snyder doubled as he was a third batter in the inning. Now he's come all the way around. Takes another one. And it's 2-0. Well, Sullivan all by himself out there on the mound now. It's his job to get this final out. Now he steps off the rubber. Runners at first and third. Here's the pitch. In there at the knees for a strike. And it counts 2-1. Sullivan sets. 2-1 pitch is high. Ball 3. 3-1. I just wonder how much longer the Norsemen are going to wait before they make a move here. It's only the bottom of the first inning. 7 runs have crossed the plate. 2 are on. That's the 3-1 count to Snyder. 3-1 pitch. Popped into the air. O'Sullivan right underneath it. He'll make the stab. And that'll do it. But the El Capitan Vaqueros will score 7 runs in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the top of the second. 7-0. Vaqueros over the Norsemen.
Leading off the top of the second for the Norsemen, the shortstop, number 5.
Top of the second inning. Norsemen coming up. Drew Garcia, the shortstop, will lead things off. And the Norsemen now have a mountain to climb as they trail 7-0 here in the top of the second. El Capitan putting 7 on the board in their half of the first. Garcia takes first pitch for a ball, 1-0. One-0 pitch is high, 2-0. Well, the Norsemen would love to get the leadoff man aboard here in the second, get something going, try to peck away at that lead. 2-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike. 2-1. Pakovich looks for the sign. 2-1 offering, fouled away. 2-2. So this season, which started the first week of March, has made it all the way here. The first weekend, second weekend actually. First weekend of June, Saturday, June 6th. It's a long season coming to a close here. Fouled into the stands, just over the Norseman dugout. And the count remains 2-2 to Garcia. Garcia will take outside, and that was actually ball 3-2, so that's a walk to Garcia.
Now batting for the Norseman, the third baseman, number 23, Brennan Baum.
And that'll bring up Brennan Baum, the third baseman. Number 22. So he's got the leadoff man on first, Garcia. Roush over to talk to his pitcher. Runner is checked, the ball just inside, and it's 1-0. To Baum. Pakovic's 1-0 pitch is high, ball 2-0. And head coach Steve Vickery of the Vaqueros now going out to talk to his pitcher, wants to calm him down. He's got a 7-run lead. He's just got to find the plate.
Ladies and gentlemen, today
Mark Noble, Joe Unden, Chris Whitmore, and Elwin Walters round out the coaching staff for the Vaqueros.
This championship game and the Division I championship game this evening. Again, pick up a free raffle ticket on the first base side. You'll be entered in the drawing for a free bat, which will be given away during the 6th inning of the ball game.
So the conference at the mound is over. Again, Drew Garcia drawing the leadoff walk here in the top of the second. Brennan Baum, third baseman, has the count in his favor, 2-0. Two-0 pitch inside, ball 3-0. Norsemen have plenty of time to peck away at this lead. They've got 6 more at-bats, which to score 7 runs. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. Obviously, can't be done. The Vaqueros put 7 up in the first inning alone. So Pakovic checks the runner at first. The pitch is squibbed over to third base, moving over to make the play. Bobbles it once, and he'll throw it away. It'll roll down the right field line. That'll allow Garcia to third. He's going all the way to the plate. And he's not going to have a throw. And going all the way to third is Brennan Baum. So on the overthrow, it's a 2-base error after Baum reached first. Should have been ruled an infield single, and then an error on the overthrow. Garcia scores. And now Baum finds himself standing at third.
The first baseman, number 13, Tommy McLean.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Tommy McLean. McLean, left-handed batter. He's got an RBI sitting at third base. If he can poke the ball through or maybe get a sac fly. Swing and a miss, 0-1. So this isn't what Steve Vickery, the head coach of El Capitan, wanted here. Staked his starting pitcher to a 7-0 lead. Now the first 2 batters of the second inning get aboard. The run is in. Pitch is a ball. Yeah, the count is now 1-1. McLean steps out of the box, time back in. Pakovic's pitch. In there on the outside corner. And the count now to McLean is 1-2. 3 called on the inside corner. He's rung up as he watches that pitch go by.
Now batting for the Norsemen.
That's the first out of the inning.
Chris Moore.
And left fielder Chris Moore steps in. Number 4. And quickly to count 0-2. Only 1 out. A run in, a runner at third. 0-2 pitch. Bounce high into the air. Baum's going to score. The throw to first, not in time, as Taylor was off the bag. The first baseman, Taylor, was off the bag, didn't have his foot on the bag. Easy call for the umpire to make.
Now batting for the Norsemen, the center fielder, number 10, Jeff Sopata.
So 2 runs are in the inning so far as Moore is aboard. And Jeff Zapata, the center fielder. Steps in, count is 0-1. So the Norsemen trying to come back. They've scored 2 in the inning. They only trail 7-2. Pitch outside, 1-1. One pitch inside, maybe a little low. Ball 2-1. Zapata. Let's keep the inning going. It's only 1 out. That pitch is high. And the count to Zapata is now 3-1. Chris Moore taking his lead from first. He starts to go to second. He holds up. But the pitch is inside, ball 4. And there's first and second now with only 1 out.
Second baseman, number 2, Javier Brown.
And that'll bring up Javier Brown, the second baseman. He singled to center field in the first inning, but was erased when Zach Barger hit into a double play. Brown awaiting the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Pakovich trying to get out of this inning. He's allowed 2 runs. He's got 2 more runners on base. He's working with a 5-run lead. I don't know how they're going to score that either. A wild pitch. More than likely a wild pitch. That allows the runners to move up to second and third. And the count is even now to Brown, 1-1. Pakovich out of the windup. Time called by Brown as he steps out. One pitch. That's in there at the knees for a strike, 1-2. Barger on deck. Barger hit into that double play in the first. He hit it hard. Pakovich made a nice play, though, making the stop at the mound. Swing and a miss. And down goes Javier Brown. That's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Zach Barger.
Number 3, Zach Barger.
So Barger, with a base hit here, can pull the Norseman with his 7-4 and make this a game here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Barger takes the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. The 1 pitch inside, ball. 1-1, evens things up. Two outs in the inning, runners at second and third. Barger needs a base hit here. Make this a game. Swung on a rope, up the middle, but coming over is a shortstop to make the play across the infield in time. Justin Snyder with a great stop. The Norsemen will leave 2 base runners, but they do pick up 2 runs. And as we go to the bottom of the second inning, it's the Vaqueros 7 and the Norsemen 2.
Touch Photography and Starwood Hotels and Resorts.
So as we move into the bottom of the second, we're going to set the Valhalla Norsemen for you defensively. At first base, number 13, Tommy McLean. Over at second base, number 2, Javier Brown. At shortstop, number 5, Drew Garcia. Over at third base, number 22, Brennan Baum. The left fielder, number 4, Chris Moore. Over in center field, number 10, Jeff Sopata. And hanging out in right field, number 3, Zach Barger.
Vaqueros, the third baseman, number 13, Vern Wengler.
So Vern Wengler will start things off here in the second inning for the Vaqueros. Pitch in there for a strike, a low strike. And the count 0-1. So Sean O'Sullivan still in there on the mound for the Norsemen. That pitch is popped up on the infield. McLean coming over in fair territory, and he's going to drop the ball. So an error on the first baseman, McLean.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the designated
Wengler
hitter, number 21, Nick
on first
Garcia.
base. So the leadoff batter is on for the Vaqueros. Nick Garcia, the designated hitter, now steps in. That pitch is ripped right up the middle into center field. And just like that, there's runners at first and second with nobody out. Should be 1 out. As McLean had that pop-up, just bounce right out of his mitt.
Now batting for the Vaqueros, the left fielder, number 30, Josh Walston.
And Josh Walston, the left fielder for El Capitan, now steps in. He's got a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. Chris Olson, the Norseman catcher, giving his signs to O'Sullivan. Popped up and foul into the stands, 0-1. So O'Sullivan ahead in the count. Tough luck pitcher here today. He should have 1 out. 0-1 pitch. Squares around a bunt. He's going to take it for a strike. 0-2. Austin Roush, the catcher, is on deck. Sullivan looking for the sign. Walston calls time, steps out of the box.
There's definitely no speed on the base.
Sullivan now set. Looks to run over to second. Pitch to the plate, swing and a miss. And down goes Walston. So Sullivan comes back, challenges him with a high heat.
And
that's the first out of the inning.
Austin
Roush, the catcher, number 18, steps in. He'll foul that first pitch straight back, 0-1. Roush just a sophomore, so we'll be seeing him for a few years to come. Oh, one pitch swung and a missed, 0-2. So let's see if O'Sullivan can get out of this inning. He's got one out. Runners at first and second. 0-2 count on the catcher, Roush. 0-2 pitch. Swung and bounced towards short. Garcia has it. He'll go to second in time. Just in time to get Garcia. Moving over to third base, Wengler. Roush safe at
now
first.
The first baseman, number 32, Jake Taylor.
Two outs, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Jake Taylor. So Taylor with an opportunity to get one of the runs back. The Norseman scored in the top of the second inning. Which Taylor has popped up, and there won't be any room to hold this one as it goes into the stands, and it counts 0-1. Taylor singled to center field, scored a run, stole second base. All back in that first inning. Sullivan ahead, the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, way out in front is Taylor, and the count is 0-2. So Sullivan, one pitch away from getting out of the inning and stranding two runners. Pitch. Bounced over to short. Garcia comes up, makes the play. Across to first in time. And that'll do it for the Vaqueros here in the second inning. They go quietly. Actually, they leave two.
Hey, fans,
we'll go to the third. It's Vaqueros 7, Norseman 2. I'm Ken Gonzalez, George Langevin Productions.
Ice cold Coca-Cola and other.
And as we head to the top of the third inning, we'll go ahead and set the defense for the El Capitan Vaqueros. Over at first base, number 32 is Jake Taylor. At second base, number 6, Louis Russo. At shortstop, number 5, Justin Snyder. Over at third base, number 13, Vern Wengler. Patrolling left field, number 30, Josh Walston. In center field, number 2, Sean Blake. And then over in right field, rounding out that outfield, number 17, Robbie Zavarek. And on the mound, of course, Brian Pakovich, number 23. And behind the plate, Austin Roush, number 18.
Leading off the top half of the third inning for the Norsemen, the pitcher, number 12, Sean O'Sullivan.
Sean O'Sullivan steps in. He'll start things off for Valhalla here in the top of the third. So Valhalla gives up 7 runs in the first. They score 2 in the second. We're now in the third. That pitch ripped down the right field line and out of play, 0-1. If they can get another run or two here in the third. Maybe down 3 or 4 runs. They're only down 5 now. They have 5 more at-bats. Pitch is outside, 1-1. On deck, the catcher, Chris Olson. He reaches for that one, grounds it to third. Long throw across the infield in time. So Vern Wengler makes a nice play.
Now batting.
And there's one out.
Cleanup hitter, the catcher, number 24, Chris Olson.
Chris Olson popped up to third. in the first. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Olsen awaiting the pitch. He'll ground that one over to short. Snyder up with it. Fires across to first in time. And quickly 2 outs here.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Drew Garcia.
In the third, Drew Garcia, the shortstop. Drew walked and came around to score in the second inning. Worked the count 3-2, finally drew the walk. First pitch is low, 1-0. Third baseman Brennan Baum is on deck. He singled in a run. Back in the second, Garcia scored after he had stole. Pitch foul back. And the count 1-2. Two outs. One-two pitch is going to be grounded over to second, charging the ball hard, making a throw to first in time. Nice play by the second baseman, Louis Russo, and he just keeps going all the way into the dugout. So a 1-2-3 inning. We had a ground ball to third, a ground ball to short, and a ground ball to second. We go to the bottom of the third. Vaquero 7, Norseman 2.
Of the CIF San Diego section. The third for the Vaqueros, the right fielder, number 17, Robbie Zabirick.
Robbie Zabirick will lead things off for the Vaqueros here in the bottom of the third inning. They lead by 5, 7-2 over the Norsemen. Sean O'Sullivan putting in a gutsy, gritty performance here as he allowed 7 runs in the first but came back and shut the Vaqueros down in the second. Actually an error by his first baseman. Extended inning. And he's able to get out of it. And he only finds himself trailing by 5 runs here in the third. Count is 2-0. To Zavaric. Sullivan trying to battle his way back. Count now 2-1. Sullivan's 2-1 pitch is hit into center field. Is going to stay up? Yes, it is. Jeff Zapata is under it, and he makes the catch.
Now batting the center fielder, number 2, Sean Blake.
One out here in the third, and that'll bring up Sean Blake, shortstop. I'm sorry, center fielder. Blake will foul that one at the plate, 0-1. Sullivan ready, the 0-1 pitch. Took something off that, it's grounded over to short. Garcia bobbles it, his throw not in time as Blake will beat it out. Blake a step faster than the throw.
Second baseman, number 6.
Garcia bobbled the ball. That allowed Blake to get down the line and beat it out. We're going to give him an error on it. So E6. And with 1 out, Louis Russo steps in as O'Sullivan goes over to first. Sullivan's first pitch to Russo catches the outside corner, and he's ahead 0-1. Shortstop Justin Snyder would be next, provided Russo doesn't hit into a double play. That pitch over for a strike. Must be at the knees. It was low. And the count's 0-2. Sullivan's 0-2 pitch is bounced on the infield. Second baseman charging. He'll make the throw to first in time. Nice play by Javier Brown, the second baseman for the Norseman.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Justin Snyder.
On the play, Blake moves over to second base. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Justin Snyder. Pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Sullivan gets his sign out, checks the runner at second. Time call as Snyder steps out of the box. Snyder on the rubber now, looks over to second, goes to the plate. It's just high. 2-0. Wengler on deck. Sullivan's 2-0 pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. Sullivan taking his time now on the mound. 2 outs in the inning, runner at second, now he steps off. Count to Snyder is 2-1. Snyder doubled to center field, driving in a couple of runs back in the first inning. Low. Ball 3-1. If he doubled in 1 run, scored a run, popped up to the third baseman to end the first. So Snyder would draw the 2-out walk. That puts runners at first and second.
Now batting third base.
And Vern Wengler is up.
Vern Wengler.
So Wengler was hit by the pitch, then aboard on an error by McClain. That's a pop fly. McClain couldn't handle it. Brennan Baum leading things off here in the top of the 4th for Valhalla. He'll foul that one back, and the count is 0-1.
How are you? I remember that. How you guys doing?
Baum takes it low for a ball, 1-1. McClain on deck. That pitch just a little bit low, and the count's 2-1. So again, the Norsemen like to get the leadoff man aboard, get something going. They trail by 5. That ball is high, and the count is now 3-1. On deck, Tommy McClain, followed by Chris Moore, and then Jeff Zapata. The 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Tommy McLean.
And now we're going to have a pinch runner at first base, number 11.
Pinch running at first base, number
for
11,
Valhalla, Adam Gross. Now running for Baum, number 23. Undoubtedly, Baum will re-enter the game after the inning. Goes back to the pitcher. Over to first in time for the double play. So the bunt attempt in the air.
Now batting left fielder number 4, Chris Moore.
So McLean pops into the double play. And Chris Moore, the left fielder, now steps in. He'll take a strike, 0-1. So 2 outs just like that when the Norseman had the leadoff man aboard. They attempt to bunt. It's into the air. Pakovitz makes the catch over to first in time for the double play. And so the Norsemen have to start over again. Nobody on, 2 out. 1-1 to Moore.
What's that? Yeah, that's amazing to be out.
1-1 pitch. Swung on hitting the right field. It's down the line. He's going to stay fair or foul. It's foul. And the count is now 0-2 to Chris Moore.
Yeah, we have a student of mine came up to me yesterday and she said, do you guys have tickets for
0-2 pitch outside. 1-2. Moore singled. Infield single to the third baseman in the second inning. Now he awaits the pitch. Bounces in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2.
There's like a restaurant you get free food and then like I went to the website.
2-2 pitch. Swan hit in the air to right. Moving over for the Vaqueros near the line. Is he going to get there? He dives and he makes the catch. So Robbie Zavarek makes a nice catch as he lost it in the sun momentarily. Comes over to the line. And that'll do it for the Norsemen in the fourth. They go 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it's the Vaqueros 7, the Norsemen 2. The designated hitter, Nick Garcia, steps into the box. 2 for 2. He doubled to left field in the first inning, and then in the third, or actually in the second, he singled to center. 2 for 2. Here in the fourth, that's grounded over to third. Bobbled runs, throw it across the infield in time to get Garcia. So Baum makes a nice recovery. And there's 1 out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 30, Josh Walston.
So Josh Walston, left fielder, singled, infield single in the first, and then in the second inning he struck out. 1 for 2. So those pitches popped up out of play. The count's 0-1. Or 1-1, I'm sorry. Sullivan's 1-1 pitch. And that's hit down the third base line. Fair ball. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Walston rounds first. He heads to second base. And he'll stop there with a stand-up double. So a one-out double by Walston here in the fourth inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 18.
As he ripped that ball just inside third between Baum and the bag. And the Vaqueros now with a runner in scoring position, only one out. Austin Roush, the catcher, stands in. Sullivan's pitch just outside, 1-0. Roush scored a run in that first inning, hit to a fielder's choice in the second. Pitch foul back, and the count's 1-1. Sullivan checks the runner at second, goes to the plate, swung on and missed by Roush. 1-2. One-two count. Here's the pitch. Popped up out of play, and the count remains 1-2. One out. Here in the bottom of the fourth, a runner on second, Walston. One-two pitch. Ground ball on the infield over to short and over. Drew Garcia takes a bad bounce right up and over his glove. And that'll go into center field for a single. Over to third base goes Walston. So Roush with a single. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Jake Taylor.
32, Jake Taylor.
First pitch by Sullivan is in there for a strike, 0-1. Zaverick on deck, made that nice diving catch in the outfield to end the fourth inning for the Norseman. See if he gets a chance here in the bottom of the inning. Ball's bounced over to third base, across to first in time. The run will score as Baum elects to go all the way across the diamond instead of home. It looked like he might have had a play at home.
Now batting number 17, the right fielder, Robbie Zagrek.
So Walston comes around to score. A runner on second now. Two outs for Zagrek. First pitch by Sullivan, had some muscle on that one. It's in there for a strike, 0-1. 8-2 lead for the Vaqueros. Last half of the fourth. Pitch is in there at the knees again. 0-2. To the count. Bottom of the fourth. Two out, runner at second. Sullivan trying to get out of the inning. He's allowed one run. Swung and missed, and down goes Zabrick. So that will end the inning for the Vaqueros, but they pick up another run. We'll go to the fifth. Norseman trail 8-2.
If your free raffle ticket on the first base side, that will be given away during the sixth inning of the game.
For the Norsemen, Jeff Zapata leading things off. center fielder today. He walked in the second inning. Stranded over at second base. Watch that first one go right there at the knees for a strike 0-1. 0-1 pitch, a little outside, evens the count 1-1. That pitch is hit high and deep to left field. Way back, he's at the track, he's under it. He's not going to get it as it's off the wall. Rounding first, heading to second, and now he's heading to third base, Zapata. And he's going to make it. So a triple off the wall in left field for Jeff Zapata.
Now batting for the Norsemen,
as Josh Walston couldn't catch up to the ball, so a leadoff triple here for the Norsemen. And Javier Brown now steps in. Norsemen have had a few. Norsemen have had a few opportunities so far. They scored 2 runs in the second. They could have had 2 more, but they stranded them at second and third. And then they had the leadoff man get aboard. That ball ripped foul down the left field line, 0-1. 1-1. In the fourth inning, they had the leadoff man get aboard, but a double play wiped out any threat that they might have. 1-1 pitch low, ball 2, 2-1. Two and 1 to Brown. 1 for 2 with a strikeout. That ball hit high into the air on the infield. Snyder, the shortstop in shallow left field, says he has it, and he does. And unable to tag on that play is the third man on third, Jeff Zapata.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Zach Barger.
1 out, and Zach Barger, the right fielder, will step in. Zach hitting a double play in the first and grounded to shortstop in the second. He wanted to offer at that, a little too high, checks his swing, and the count is 1-0. Sean O'Sullivan, the pitcher, awaiting his turn on deck. Little mini conference there at the mound between Snyder, Pakovich, and the catcher, Roush. Stepping in again, number 3, Zach Barger. Waiting the pitch. He's got a runner at third. He'd like to bring him in. That pitch is in there for a strike, and the count is 2-1. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. A little bit low. And the count to Barger is 3-1. Pagovich 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4. And the Norsemen now have runners on the corners with only 1 out. And Sean O'Sullivan, the pitcher, he can help himself out here. And they're going to intentionally walk O'Sullivan to load the bases. For Chris Olson.
Now batting for the Norsemen, the and catcher number 24, Chris Olson.
So the catcher, Chris Olson, steps in, 0 for 2, popped up to the third baseman in the first, grounded to short in the third, but now he has a chance to drive in a couple of runs and get his team right back in this game. They trail 8-2, but the bases are loaded here with 1 out in the top of the 5th. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Garcia takes the 0-1 pitch. Olson takes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Evens the count on a ball and a strike. Garcia's on deck. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Little off speed pitch as Capitan sticks something off that. And the count is 1-2 to Olson. 1-2 pitches popped up on the infield in foul territory behind third base. Wengler makes the catch, and there's 2 outs now.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Drew Garcia.
And that'll bring up Drew Garcia. But Steve Vickery, the coach for the Vaqueros, comes out to the mound. He wants to talk to his pitcher.
Be sure to visit concession stands all around the stadium. Get your hamburgers, hot dogs, popcorn, nachos, ice cold Coca-Cola, and other delicious treats throughout the stadium.
So the meeting at the mound is over. Drew Garcia, the left-handed batter, will step in. He has the bases loaded with 2 outs. And if they strand these 3 runners, that'll bring the total to 6 base runners stranded by the Norsemen here today. They stranded a runner in the first, 2 in the second. And they got the bases loaded here in the 5th. A ball and a strike to Garcia. Garcia walked and scored in the second, grounded out to second base in the third. He's got the count 1-1. The pitch, swing and a miss, way out in front. Capitan takes something off that one. And the count is 1-2. One-two pitch. Swung and missed. The Capitan gets out of the inning. He had bases loaded. Only 1 out. Comes back. And he gets Olson to pop up in foul grounds behind third base, and he strikes out Drew Garcia. So the Norsemen leave the bases loaded. And we will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-2 Vaqueros. Sean Blake leads things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for El Capitan. They have an 8-2 lead. Blake flied out to center in the first. Also singled in the first inning and was aboard on an error in the third. Now he'll bounce this one over towards Garcia at short. He's got this one across. Pulled him off. No! Umpire says his foot was on the bag. And there's one away. Louis Russo will come up now.
Now batting second baseman number 6, Louis Russo.
Russo, 1 for 2. was hit by the pitch also. Grounded to second. His single was to right field back in the first inning. One of those players, one of the three players, actually had 2 at-bats in that first inning. Sean Blake, Louis Russo, and Justin Snyder each had 3 at-bats in the first. And Russo takes the first pitch. He's behind in the count now, 0-1. And he'll bounce this one just inside third and down the line. He'll round first, head to second base, and he'll be there easy with a stand-up double. So Louis Russo doubles down the left field line. He's now 2 for 3. And that'll bring up Justin Snyder. Justin 1 for 2, doubled in the first, popped to third in the first, and walked in the third. 1 out. O'Sullivan's pitch to Snyder. In there for a strike, 0-1. Sullivan looks the runner back to second. Now he'll go to the plate. It's grounded off of O'Sullivan's glove over to short. Garcia over to first in time. So Snyder tries to slide into first, but the throw beat him by a step. And now with 2 outs and a runner at third, Vern Wengler, the third baseman for the Vaqueros today, steps in. Vern has been hit by a pitch, and he'll bounce this one over to third. Long throw across the diamond in time. Nice play by Brennan Baum over to the first baseman, Tommy McLean. So the Vaqueros will strand a runner. They don't score here in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning. Vaqueros 8, Norsemen 2.
For pursuing victory with honor.
Brennan Baum steps in. He'll lead off the top of the 6th for Valhalla. First pitch swinging over to short. Snyder turnaround. Nice play. Over to first in time. Justin Snyder with the putout. Nice play. And there's 1 out.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Tommy McLean.
And that'll bring up Tommy McLean. McLean will take that first pitch over for a strike, 0-1. Pitch. Just inside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. One pitch inside for a ball, and it's 2-1. On deck, the left fielder, Chris Moore. Chris has a single and a fly out to right field today. 1 for 2. All right, now the count is 3-1 to Tommy McLean, the first baseman. McLean struck out looking in the second, hit into a double play. In the 4th, that was that bunt attempt that was popped right back to the pitcher. And he'll take inside, ball 4. So McLean walks, and that'll bring up Moore.
Now batting the left fielder, number 4, Chris Moore.
Moore stands in. Here's the pitch. Inside. Spins him around as he bails out of the way of that pitch. And the count is 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Moore on the way. Here it comes. High and inside, ball 2, 2-0. And now the bullpen for the Vaqueros starts to get busy. We can't see who it is back there, but there is activity. Count is 2-0 to Moore. Runner at first, McLean. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch outside, ball 3, 3-1. And now all of a sudden, Pakovic is one pitch away from putting runners at first and second. He has a 6-run lead. Now time. Snyder wants to go over and talk things over with his catcher, or with his pitcher. Pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count is 3-2. So full count to Chris Moore. McLean at first. There's one out. So McLean will be taking a cautious lead from first base. Be very surprised if he runs on this pitch. 3-2 pitch, he's not going, and it's inside, ball 4. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Jeff Zapata.
Now batting the center fielder, number 10, Jeff Zapata.
So first and second for the Norsemen. They're trying to rally. They trail by 6 runs, 8-2. We're in the top of the 6th inning, so they only have one more opportunity after this inning to try to get even with this Vaquero team. And now head coach Steve Vickery slowly making his way to the mound. He's going to make a change. He's going to bring a left-hander in. And we'll see who that will be coming out of the bullpen. So a nice game pitched today by number 23, Brian Pakovic. And his teammates awaiting his arrival in front of the dugout. They're going to give him a nice hand. And into the game now, pitching for El Capitan, number 19, Dustin Church.
Number for the winning raffle ticket.
So Dustin Church, a left-hander, will come into pitch now for the Vaqueros, as a crowd giving a nice round of applause to starting pitcher Brian Pakovic. As he goes 5 1/3, very solid innings. He leaves leading 8-2. The 2 men on base are his responsibility, so he can only win this game. He can't lose it.
2-2. If that is your number, come on up here to the announcer's booth, and we'll give you your Easton wooden bat.
Jeff Zapata stepping in against Church. Runners at first and second, 1 out. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Zapata walked in the 2nd inning, then tripled off the wall in left field to back in the 5th. Right now here in the 6th, he's got a couple of runners on base. Let's see what he can do. 0-1 pitch in there on the outside corner, 0-2. Zapata dug himself a hole in the count, 0-2. Church looks to runner back. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. On a low pitch at the knees, he's rung up. And there's 2 outs now for Javier Brown. So Javier Brown needs to extend this inning for the Norsemen. Garcia off the rubber as he scares the runner back to second base. That's McLean, Tommy McLean, who walked. Over at first base, Chris Moore, who drew a walk. Now there's 2 outs. Pitch to Brown. Ground ball actually went off his foot, so it's foul right here at the plate, and the count is 0-1. Zach Barger would be on deck if Brown can get on base. They'd like to get to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan, of course, leading the state in everything. 16 home runs, 50 runs batted in. That pitch is low, 1-2. Actually, 1-1. O'Sullivan, 60 for 96 this year, 625 average. Javier Brown has a 406 average, and he's up there right now. 12-game hitting streak. Low for a ball, and it's 2-1. So Brown with a 13-game hitting streak as he extended it here in the first. So he's going to hit out, if you will. Through the last game of the year. He'll watch that pitch go over the plate. And the count now even at 2-2. So 2-2, 2 out. Number 2, Javier Brown up. And he's a second baseman. Church ready, he's set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low, bounces up there. Full count, 3-2. On deck, Zach Barger. Looks in for the sign. Payoff pitch on the way. 2 outs. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And down goes Brown. So Church comes in. He gets out of the innings. He gets 2 outs. And at the end of 5.5 innings of play, it's Vaqueros 8, Norseman 2. And so as the Vaqueros come up to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning, they have an 8-2 lead and actually find themselves 3 outs away from taking the 2004 San Diego Section CIF Division II baseball title. As they lead Valhalla by 6 runs here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up the DH to lead things off, Nick Garcia. Nick 2 for 3, doubled, singled, and grounded out to third back in the 4th inning. So here we are in the 6th. First pitch swing, pops it up behind first. McLean comes over, he's got room, and he'll make the play. So 1 pitch, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting left fielder, number 30, Josh Walston.
So Josh Walston, number 30, a junior outfielder. 2 for 3, single in the first. Struck out in the second. Hits this one into the air. Going out to shortstop Garcia. He's underneath it. A little bit of some acrobatics there at the end, but he makes the play. And just like that, 2 pitches and 2 outs. As we have a new pitcher for Valhalla, number 6, David Noble. He's taking over for O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan now playing third base as he takes over for Bauman. Or Brennan Baum, excuse me. So the catcher, Austin Roush, stands in against Noble. And he'll swing at that pitch. Over to short, Garcia across an easy 1-2-3 3-pitch inning for Noble. We'll go to the 7th inning. The Vaqueros just 3 outs away from the title. So this is the last chance for the Norsemen as we head into the 7th inning. Zach Barger, the right fielder, will lead things off. Hit a double play in the first, grounded to short in the second, and walked in the 5th. First pitch swing bounces over to short. Snyder, long throw over to Taylor as he scoops it out of the dirt in time. One away.
Now batting third baseman number 12,
And Sean O'Sullivan, who's taking possibly, he's only a junior, but he's taking what could be his last at-bat of the year here as his team trails with 1 out in the top of the 7th, 8-2. O'Sullivan again hitting .625 on the year. 60 for 96, 16 home runs, and 50 runs batted in. Swings at the first pitch, bounces it over to Church. Church sets, throws over to first in time, and there's 2 away. And the El Capitan High School Vaqueros just 1 out away from the 2004 Division II San Diego Section CIF baseball title.
24, Chris Olson.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Chris Olson, number 24, 0 for 3. Popped up to third twice and grounded to short. So the Vaqueros 1 out away from the title. First pitch over for a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And so Chris Olson and the rest of the Valhalla Norsemen down to the last strike here in the top of the 7th. El Capitan leads 8-2. Olson winning the pitch, here it comes. And he'll ground it over to second base, scooped up right there over to first in time. And the El Capitan Vaqueros are the 2004 San Diego Section CIF Division II champions as they defeat the Valhalla Norsemen by a final score of 8-2. A huge 7-run first inning. The Norsemen could never recover from it. And again, the final score, Vaqueros 8, Norsemen 2. That'll do it for me. I'm Ken Gonzalez from Georgia Langevin Productions. We hope you enjoyed this championship game. Hope everyone has a safe night. We'll see you again next time. Have a good day, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd like to make the presentation of our awards. Down on the field representing the CIF San Diego section, Mr. Dick Serrano, John Baumgartner, Bill McLaughlin, and Dennis Ackerman. Representing our 2 schools from El Capitan, the athletic director, Sandy Martinez, and from Valhalla, Principal Larry Martinson, and athletic director, Randy Reed. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our Division II runner-ups, the Valhalla Norsemen. Number 1, Josh Stewart. 1, Josh Stewart. Number 2, Javier Brown. Number 3, Zach Barger. Number 4, Chris Moore. Number 5, Drew Garcia. Number 6, David Noble. Number 7, Alex Brown. Number 8, Mike Petrovelli. Number 9, Michael Melendez. Number 10, Jeff Sopata. Number 11, Adam Gross. Number 12, Sean O'Sullivan. Number 13, Tommy McLean. Number 16, Michael Young. Number 18, Stephen LaValle. Number 19, Eric Julian. Number 22, Brennan Baum. And number 24, Chris Olson. Head coach of the Norsemen, Steve Perdue. Assistants, Troy Perdue, Ron Berner, Dave Garcia, and Nigel Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, your Division II runner-up, the Valhalla Norsemen. And now we would like to present our Sportsmanship Award to the Norsemen, pursuing victory with honor as an operating principle of the CIF. Today, the coaches, tournament directors, officials, and commissioners honor a player who competed with dignity and respect for his opponent, his team, and his community. The Sportsmanship Award for Valhalla, number 5, Drew Garcia. And now let's meet your Division II champions, the El Capitan Vaqueros. Joining us on the field, athletic director Sandy Martinez. Let's meet the Vaqueros. Number 2, Sean Blake. Number 5, Justin Snyder. Number 6, Louis Russo. Number 8, Jesus Moraga. Number 10, Michael Griffith. Number 11, Christian Garcia. Number 13, Vern Wengler. Number 14, Jarrett Lynn. Number 15, Nick Regan. Number 16, Bert Draheim. Number 17, Robbie Zabarek. Number 18, Austin Roche. Number 19, Dustin Church. Number 21, Nick Garcia. Number 22, Thomas Hostetler. Number 23, Brian Pokovitz. Number 24, Jason Zayasek. Number 30, Josh Walston. Number 32, Jake Taylor. And number 44, Nick McCarthy. The head coach of the Vaqueros, Mr. Steve Vickery. Assistant coaches Mark Noble, Joe Hunden, Chris Whitmore, and Elwin Walters. Ladies and gentlemen, your Division II champions, the El Capitan Vaqueros. And now the Sportsmanship Award, selected to receive the Sportsmanship Award for his demonstration of the principle of competition with honor, number 21, Nick Garcia.